Okay, I want to show you the first step that you want to take when you're going to contribute some AVAs to the UC Davis AVA project. And the first thing that you want to do is fork our repository so that you can do any changes that you want on your own machine and then submit those back to us. So when you're at the AVA project on GitHub, in the upper right-hand corner is a fork. You go ahead and pick that fork. And what that will do is it will copy that repository to your own personal site, and you probably won't have as many as I do, but you will have a personal one that's associated with the account that you signed up for, and you can fork that repository to there. And that'll take just a second in order to get that started. And you can see that that will actually be located now in your personal location. So this is the one that you want to work on. And so now in the green area, you'll see a little button there for cloning your site. You can just save that that URL, and then you can use get in order to use that. And so I use the command line version of get, and here I am without anything in it. And then now I'll just clone that repository. And whoops. And that'll take a little bit in order to download. And then after, depending on your speed, eventually you'll have a version. And so now you see in your directory on your local machine, you have that same repository. And so you can actually start to work on this when you want to do changes. Now, another thing that might be helpful is that you can use Git branches if you want to kind of keep track of the particular thing that you're working on. And in this case, I want to work on the Oakville AVA. So I'm going to make a new branch by checking out with the -b command to create the new one. And this is just kind of to remind myself that I'm working on one particular project there. And so now any changes that I'll make will be made in that branch. Now you're free to actually go and make changes to the to your content. So if we go to our QGIS application, now we can go and import one of these particular data sets. So like I said, we'll be working on Oakville. So we'll find that in the TBD section. And that's ready to edit. Now, if we go over here and look, before we've started to do anything, if we run a get status here, that shows how many changes have been made, and no changes have been made. But now if we turn editing on for this particular thing, and we want to at first just kind of move this to where it's really more, that's kind of closer to where Oakville is before we start actually doing editing, and then we save that, then you'll see if we go back to our repository and we do a get status, we can see that there's been one change. And that's good so that you can follow along and make sure that you're only changing the files that you're expecting. So in the next episode, we'll talk about how you go about editing those. Or first we'll talk about downloading your source maps, and then we'll get into the editing.